Alright, hello and welcome back all to people that might actually watch this video. Doing something a little bit different than what I normally post on this channel today. I'm going to kind of walk through my thought process for playing Killer, and in particular I'm going to talk about Bubba, because Leatherface is a character, that most people unlock first. He's, got some good teachable perks like barbecue and chili that are really helpful. You can farm up blood points using it. It's a good information perk, and all around it's just very nice. So like I said, a lot of people choose him to be one of their first unlockable characters to get his teachables, and you go on from there. I would say that he is a good place to start when it comes to the killers. Clown's also not a bad option. He's got some good perks. I really like Save the Best for Last from Myers, and Discordance from Legion. Actually, at the time that I'm making this video, Discordance is actually in the shrine, so you could go and spend a couple thousand shards on that and save yourself from having to buy Legion. But yeah, all of these characters have some really great teachable perks, some much better than others, but like I said, a lot of people like to start with the Cannibal, because he's nice and easy to use. He's pretty straightforward. He's got a one-shot down and all of that good stuff. So what I'm doing today basically is going to walk through the build that I use most of the time, and then also going to mention a couple of potential substitutes if you don't have all these perks unlocked and whatnot, so that it kind of applies to everybody. So I like to run Bamboozle. I think this is one of the best perks you can run on Bubba. Obviously, with his chainsaw, he's able to break pallets, able to also block off the window at certain loops. It can really speed up your chases. You'll vault faster. The window will be blocked for 16 seconds. It's all around just a really good perk. Then there's Pop Goes the Weasel. In any, strong killer build, you should have some sort of gen regression. For Bubba, I think, with how fast he can oftentimes get downs, Pop Goes the Weasel is a good choice. You could also choose to run Ruin, but then you probably also want Undying, so that you can keep it around a little bit longer, and that will take up another slot. Personally, I think Pop is fine. I play at a pretty fast pace normally, if possible, when playing Bubba, so Pop is my only gen regression perk in this build. Obviously, there's his teachable, barbecue and chili. I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the video, but it's just an all-around great perk. It's a perk that everybody likes to start out with, and also great for blood points. And then if you want even a little bit more information, I like to run Discordance. You could probably throw several different perks in this slot. I don't like too many of the staples of M1 killers. He's also got Franklin's as his teachable perk, but a lot of times you want to get downs with your chainsaw. So in that case, Franklin's wouldn't work. Sloppy Butcher, another one that's not great. Save the Best for Last is a perk that I love to run on basically every killer. Not too great, although I suppose if you did want to use it, you could use your chainsaw to, not hit the obsession and then save up stacks in that way. So yeah, you could use a variety of different perks. For me, I like Discordance because you'll find survivors early game, and then later in the game you'll know when multiple people are on generators for which ones you have to defend. Yeah, so that's the perk build that I personally like. Like I said, there's a lot of different things that you can do here, but if you wanted to go with some more basic perks, these two are both from the Clown, so if you don't have the Clown, you probably don't have these perks unlocked. Same goes for Discordance, although like I mentioned, it is in the shrine. Go grab it if you can. If you didn't want to start out, all killers that you start out with, you might have their teachables are Trapper, Wraith, Billy, Nurse, and Huntress. I believe those are the only ones that you start out with on the PC version of the game. When I played on console, I also started with Doctor and Hag. I don't even have Hag unlocked on this account. So yeah, But as far as other perks that you could choose to run, you know, there's a couple that are never bad options. You're not going to have any, like, right off the bat gen regression perks from any of these killers. You know, you could run Thana to slow down the generator progress. You could run Tinkerer to, you know, give yourself a little bit of an advantage, know when the gens are getting close to being done, and go chase survivors off of it. Wraith's perks are useless. Trapper's perks are okay. You know, Agitation could be fun if you wanted to do a basement Bubba build. But, yeah. So, the other, like, kind of basic build, I'm going to call it, that I would recommend, instead, I would keep barbecue and chili, because obviously if you've got Bubba, you'll have barbecue and chili. You could do something like Bitter Murmur. Deerstalker's a shout, actually. It's really not a bad idea. You know, sometimes you might want to leave players slugged, especially if you don't have gen regression. But, yeah, you could do something like, I think one of the perks that everybody's going to have no matter what is Whispers, which is going to be on the last page here. So Whispers is a good shout when you don't know where people are. And then additionally, probably go with... you could do a lot of different things, really. You could do Franklin's, you could do Deerstalker. I would probably say Deerstalker. This is the build that I would say, if you don't have anything except for the Cannibal plus, like, basic perks unlocked, these are all non-character based perks that everybody has to start out with. So anyway, I'm gonna talk about add-ons really quick. You know, he's got some fun add-ons here. The ultra rares are pretty fun to use, but his best add-ons by far are either of these two chili variants. You can also run them in conjunction. They will increase your dash duration when a token is consumed, and it'll also increase the additional chain sweep window. So, you know, it basically just extends your usage of the chainsaw. Gives you a little bit more leeway with when you choose to consume charges and all of that. Normally, I wouldn't run both of these at the same time. I'd probably just choose one or the other, depending on which ones I had at the time, and then go with something that will help me recharge the chainsaw quicker. Let's see which one of these does that. This one will increase the rate which charges replenish. This is what I like to run. You can do a lot of different things. I mean, if you wanted the Franklin's effect without running Franklin's, there's an add-on here, I believe, that causes survivors to drop their items if you hit them with the chainsaw. There's this one, which gives them the mangled status effect, make them take longer to heal and whatnot. This one gives you the same effect as his teachable perk knockout, and so on and so forth. You can always read through the add-ons, and this is in the custom game mode because I don't have any extra chili add-ons lying around. But yeah, so with all of this said, I've kind of explained, you know, my thought process with the build. I'm going to go into a game and, you know, use my usual perk build, kind of just showcase how I choose to play, and maybe throw in a couple of tips here and there, because a lot of times I see Bubba players, they don't even know how to, like, extend the charges on the chainsaw, and so they do one charge's worth of a chainsaw sweep, and it's not overly effective. So yeah, I might throw in, you know, a little bit of that during the gameplay, but hope you enjoy, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Alright, we've got a game on Crotus Pren before it gets reworked in the mid-chapter, so that's kind of neat. You know, this might be one of the last variation of the map. We've already found somebody, potentially, because they have failed a skill check. So, I see two people here. They're going to start to run, which is expected. He came over here. I'm going to block off the window. Did he turn back? Oh yeah, they went over here. These guys are doing an interesting combination of running and walking, but I'm not going to chase them into that weird area when there's 2 people working on a gen over here. So we got a sprint burst and a not sprint burst. So that girl would have been exhausted, so she would have probably been a prime target, but we're going to get rid of this pallet because she's going to give it to us for free. It's important to try to do this at pallets, you know, rev up your chainsaw so that you can just really quickly break the pallets, get them out of the game, and continue chasing. That's all what it's really about with Bubba, is getting these characters out of position so that you can get them one-shot with your chainsaw when possible. Now that was poor by me because I kind of forgot that my chili add-on was going to extend the duration of that chainsaw sweep, and I hit something and went into tantrum, which wastes a couple of seconds. But it isn't too bad. At the end of the day, we did get 1 down, and we can now move on. We see somebody upstairs with barbecue, so that's where we're going to head next. Probably pop the gen and start to chase them. We did hear her drop down. But yeah, we'll just pop it and head on back to the hook because they made a beeline there. So, yep, totally expected that. We'll force her to take the borrowed time or go down. Never mind. Shame. I'm not going to hook her again right away. This other Claudette, I don't know where she went. I think she might have gone that way. Fake that and see if anybody comes. Yeah, wasting time here. Wow, well played by them. Well played. I'm gonna go after this Claudette because she seems to be competent, and I feel kind of bad. But yeah, like I said, you know you want to come into chases using your chainsaw as much as you can to get rid of pallets. Avoid taking stuns if you can, because you'll obviously be better off for that. Didn't even know there was a pallet there, but that was a good job to get rid of that. And effectively with Bamboozle as well, you can really end loops pretty quickly. So she tried to do something kind of smart there, which is run around a tree and force me to not bump into it. Which is a good play by her. I could have... the basement's not there anyway, so... This is the best play, and now I have to hope that I can make it over there to kick this gen with Pop before they get it done. This Discordance is providing us value right now, letting us know that this gen is almost done. We're going to kick it quickly, even though I probably could have gotten some extra damage there. Poor tracking on my part right now. They're right back on it, huh? You got a fucking death wish there. Now I get to pop it again. No way you finished that in time, even if they got right back on it. I did lose another gen in the process, and they got the unhook. So now I'm kind of, yeah, gonna expect them to heal over there. They're fully healed up, but that's the thing about Bubba, is he's very oppressive with the chainsaw. You know, if you know how to use it, it's super effective for getting downs. And this Claudette's gonna continue to try to use the tree. Oh, look at those pixels, man. Those are some nice pixels on the tree. She's got DS. That's probably why she did it. And she only had green DS. My bad, I guess. Totally tunneled her, even though she ran right into me. Guess we're going to continue. Nice dead hard. She dropped down. She threw that pallet, which was not super expected. I'm going to just say fuck it and go back to this gen. Okay, Dwight. There's no way I catch up to her, right? Oh my god, there is. She made a horrible blunder there by running into that debris. And now I get 2 people down for one chainsaw attack, which is another very oppressive thing you can do with Bubba's chainsaw. This game is working out pretty nicely so far. I'm able to use my pop a couple of times already. I think that this already is dead on hook. Oh, but she has Soul Guard and Unbreakable because I don't have any Hex Totems, so she has to have both of those perks, and she recovered fairly quickly, to her credit. So she takes that hit, and I get her down. It's really unfortunate for her. You know, I ended up kind of finding her a couple of times in a row, but that's just the way it works sometimes, unfortunately. You know, I wasn't seeking her out intentionally to get her down. I was just trying to play in an efficient way where I don't just let her go. I did chase after that Claudette one time, to be fair, when I didn't have to. Oh, wow, we got all three of you here, huh? Oh, wow, you did really well there. I'm impressed. It's harder for me to turn to my left for some reason with the chainsaw sweep. This is a really strong window here, and she just left the loop entirely. Guess we're gonna come over here. Where the fuck did she go? She came over this way. See, she's leading me into a chase that I don't want to take, so it's in a dead zone. Effectively, you know, not much going on over there, but let's see if they came back to this gen. Nope. But there's Dwight. Yes, I see you, brother. I had a feeling you would use your sprint burst there. I think you're dead here, though. I was gonna say, you would have had to loop that pretty tight like she did, because I barely ran into something the last time, and that's what you don't want to do when you're playing as Bubba, is run into stuff, because you will waste a lot of time. Now I'm going to try to get him into the basement here. Could be a bad play. We'll see. I'll put him on the front hook just to break that pallet when I get upstairs. Look around on barbecue real quick. Pallet's gone. And there's a survivor right here. She's going to take the window, wasted her sprint burst too, which is nice. Not that I needed to block that window, but I thought she might try to loop that. There's no pallet there, so it's not overly surprising. One thing to note is that Bamboozle can only block one window at a time, which is why T and L walls aren't completely useless. She did not play that super well. Some people know a timing where when you jump into a locker, you get them to swing and then jump out during his cooldown, and you only have to take an M1. I do know, based on that barbecue info, that this other survivor is not moving in for the save quickly enough to get him, which means this game is effectively won. She was over here at that time. Her scratch marks are gone. This guy is dead, and yeah, now it's probably a race to the hatch. Even though I do have Claudettes both here. So that is the additional range from the chili add-on that you get for using your chainsaw sweep. Where the fuck did this guy run to? You are a sneaky guy, man. Anyway. Yeah, not a bad team. They did well to get gens done early. You know, we could still have an Unbreakable and or DS on the other guy, so the game isn't completely over yet, but it's pretty close, and I feel like this was a good testament to how strong Bubba can be. I'm going to pick her up straight away. If she's got DS, we have a little bit longer of a game. That's fine. Nope, doesn't look like it, so there we go. So, yeah, just to kind of reiterate that thing about the chainsaw. So when you use a charge, right, you do 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the fourth one is when you'll want to click M2 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, click. 1, 2, 3, 4, click. And so on and so forth. In that situation, I hadn't replenished my charges fast enough, so I couldn't use the third one. But that's how you time the charges when you have the chili add-ons. When you don't have the chili add-ons, it's a little bit earlier into the motion. I usually listen for it, so when he gets to kind of his more high-pitched little shriek there, that's typically when you want to click M2 again. So anyway, yeah, that was my live commentary on Bubba, trying to talk over my gameplay, explain my decisions, and yeah, I hope people found that helpful. You know, it's a good killer to start out with. If you really learn to master him, he's very strong. You'll do well, and with his teachable perk barbecue and chili, you will earn a lot of blood points to put into other killers and or survivors. So yeah, like I said, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.